Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Yes, I am wearing the exact same outfit as I am wearing in a previous video, but I was too lazy to change, so this is what you get. Today's video is going to be a book haul, and it is a pretty giant book haul. I have, I think, 33 books to show you. It was too many for me to even hold all together, so that's why my thumbnail probably looks a little strange, but I tried my best. I do not want this video to be super long, so I'm going to jump right into all the books that I got, and I'm going to try to keep descriptions to a minimum, I think. So the first two books I have to show you are two mangas, because I want to start reading mangas a little bit more. And the first one is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, as well as I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino. These are two mangas. I've never heard anything about them, but I decided that I wanted to pick them up because they sounded interesting, and they sounded sweet, and they sounded slightly sad and depressing, but I wanted to try to get into them. I don't know what the storyline is about too much on either of them. However, I know that mangas are pretty quick reads. I've read a few of them, so I purchased these two in the hope of getting into manga. The next book here is Gideon the Ninth. This is a adult sci-fi, little bit fantasy maybe, novel that has been getting a lot of hype lately. I do have a video on my channel. I will leave it in the info card up above about some of my fellow booksellers raving about this book because they read an art copy of it. They loved it. I'm about 40 pages into it, so I haven't made it very far, but I'm enjoying what I've read so far. Basically, on the back it says, like, lesbian necromancers in space, so that's all I really need to know. Next book I have is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This, of course, is like the movie Howl's Moving Castle. I absolutely love that film, so I decided that I wanted to read the book version of it. It seems like it would be a fast read. Also, the cover's absolutely beautiful. It's so cute. So I definitely want to get into this one. That's why I picked it up. The next book I have here is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. This is a new adult/adult romance novel. I talk about it a bit more in my September wrap-up, which I will also leave linked in the info card up above. The next book I have here I also already read, and it is in my September wrap-up as well. It is Frankly in Love by David Yoon, a young adult contemporary novel featuring a Korean-American man and a fake relationship and a real relationship and lots of ups and downs and trials and tribulations and just life in general, and it is absolutely spectacular, so I highly recommend everybody pick this up. I also love the sprayed edges on this one, and it's a signed copy, so yay! The next three books are all part of a trilogy, and it is the Penryn in the End of Days trilogy by Susan E. The first one being Angel Fall, the second one being World After, and the third one being End of Days. This is a young adult dystopian trilogy that features fallen angels and angels versus men. So it's a lot of fun. I've read the first one so far. I did a vlog that features it, so if I can find it and figure out which one it was, I will leave it linked in the info card. A lot of things are going to be linked in the info card, I feel like. I finally picked this series up. It was really popular a couple of years ago, and so I finally did that, and I enjoyed the first one, so I can't wait to read the rest of the series. Next, we have another book that made it into my September wrap-up because I read it in September, and it is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is her adult fantasy debut, so it's adult. I'm gonna keep saying it. It is adult. It's a very, very dark novel, has a lot of dark themes in it, so be on the lookout for those trigger warnings. I know I did a vlog of this that I go into all my thoughts on it, which I will leave linked in the info card. But yeah, I talk about those trigger warnings and some of the scenes in it, so if you are interested in that, it'll be linked. But yes, I picked this one up because I read the art copy of it, absolutely loved it, so I knew I had to get a finished copy of it, and it's just so beautiful, and I have a signed copy, so yay.
Oh my god, my back hurts. I need to finish this video quick.
The next book I picked up is Reaper at the Gate by Sabaa Tahir. This is the third book in her Ember in the Ashes series trilogy. I don't really know. But yeah, I haven't yet to read the second book, which is A Torch Against the Night. So I don't know why I picked this one up, but I found it cheap, so that's probably why. But yeah, I picked up the third one. I did really enjoy the first book in the trilogy or series, so I wanted to get the third one, and the cover, beautiful. Next we have The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Clutter. This is a book that I saw a fellow booktuber, I feel like she's a booktuber, I don't quite remember, but I saw her raving about it on Twitter, and she mentioned how Amazon was selling it for like $3 and that everybody should just go and buy a copy. So I decided to pick it up. It is a young adult contemporary novel that I believe has something to do with mental illness and things like that. So I think it would be a tough read for some people, but I want to see what the hype is surrounding this novel. So I picked it up, found it super cheap, so here we are. Next we have two books in a series. It is the Royal series by Aaron Watt. The first one being Paper Princess and the second one being Broken Prince. These, I believe, are new adult novels that feature royalty, and I don't know if it's supposed to be fantasy or not. However, I found them, a girl was selling it on Depop, so I decided to pick them up because I want some new adult novels to read that are also fun, so that's why I grabbed these two. Next, I picked up Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. This is the third and final book in the Nevernight Chronicles trilogy. I haven't even started the trilogy yet, but guys, hear me out. I know I'm gonna love it. I know I am. And I've gotten every single one of them in hardback, first signed edition. So I had to get this one when it came out, but I will be reading them very, very soon. Next, I picked up The Bride Test by Helen Huang. This is Helen Huang's second novel. She's the author of The Kiss Quotient, which is a novel that I really, really enjoyed. It is an adult romance novel, lots of steamy scenes in there, which is why I decided to pick up her other novel, because I did really enjoy her first one, and
I love me some steamy romance books. So here we go.
The next book I picked up is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is his young adult sci-fi book that I've heard phenomenal things about, and I decided to pick it up now because the second book is coming out in November, I believe. It's coming out very soon, and I have an ARC copy of it, so I can't read the ARC copy of that without reading the first one, so it's why I picked it up. I don't know anything really besides the fact that it's Brandon Sanderson and sci-fi. I don't know. Next, I picked up The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. This is a young adult fantasy novel that features dark woods, I think. Next, I have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is her second book. The other one, I believe, is something, Enchantment of Ravens. That's what the other one is. I haven't read that one, however, I did read this one, and it was also one that I talked about in the top 10 books that I want to read before 2020. This was one of them, and I read it, guys. So yay, I managed to read one of them so far. But yes, I really, really enjoyed this one. It follows a young woman who is an apprentice at this library, and the library has these books that, if not taken care of, will turn into these monstrous creatures. So there's magic in it, and it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I do really like that this is a standalone fantasy. I believe she can expand in the world, but I do really like that it's a standalone fantasy. It's something that's really hard to come by nowadays. So yeah, I picked this up. Cover's gorgeous, and I did really enjoy it. It lived up to the hype, everybody. The next book I have to show you is one that I had never heard of before, but the cover and the synopsis intrigued me a lot. And it is Steel Crow Saga by Paul Kruger. Pokemon combined with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Clever, stylish, and gloriously fun. So yeah, that definitely drew me in. But yeah, the cover's gorgeous, the spine is gorgeous, and it's a high fantasy novel that I'm kind of picturing something like a Patronus in a way, especially because it's blue, but there are like animal kind of companions in here in this world, and it's supposed to be like multiple perspectives, and that's something I really enjoy in a novel, so I decided to pick it up and see what it's all about. Next, I picked up Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. This is the second book in the Simon Snow trilogy series that she has going on. I believe the third one has just announced. So yeah, I picked this one up and it's a signed copy. So let me show that to you guys. She signed it in like a purpley pink kind of color. Next, I picked up From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. This is the sequel to When Dimple Met Rishi. Is that what the full title is? And that's a young adult contemporary novel that I did really enjoy. I read it a couple months ago, and I decided to pick up the next book and see how I like this one as well. And I just find them very cute and sweet and lovable, and that's why I picked this one up. But yeah, this one's the second book. Next, we have a book that was totally a cover buy for me because I haven't heard a lot of things about it, although I have seen it floating around on BookTube. It is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, and this is a adult, I believe it's adult, fantasy. First of all, cover buy, completely a cover buy. However, when you do read the synopsis, it does sound really good. There's supposed to be a lot of doors. I know, right? That's totally what the cover says. But anyway, there's supposed to be a book that kind of features other worlds in it. So I think it's like a book within a book and a world within a world and all that kind of good, fun stuff that you love in books. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what I think about this. It sounds really good, and I really hope it's good because I love the cover. The next 7 books that I have here are actually graphic novels, and they're all part of a series, and it is the Deadly Class series by a few different authors and illustrators. So we have the first one, Deadly Class Reagan Youth. Then we have Kids of the Black Hole. And then The Snake Pit, Die For Me, Carousel, This Is Not the End, and Love Like Blood. I believe there's a few more after this. However, I managed to find all 7 of these very cheap online on Depop actually, and I really enjoyed the first one, so even though I already had a copy of this, I decided to just grab the rest of them, including this one again, so I'll just sell the other random one that I have. But it's one that I love the artwork in. I find it very, very good, and I do like the whole storyline. Like, there's some good artwork. I do like the storyline. It is very violent and kind of gruesome, and there's a really disturbing topic in the first one, so look out for that. However, I do really look forward to getting to the rest of them because I did enjoy the first one. The final 3 books I have to show you are all from Book of the Month YA Club, where I am an affiliate of, so I will leave a link to my link down below where you can get your first book for only $9.99 using my link and the associated coupon code. So yeah, let's get into these ones. First one that I have is House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig. This is a young adult fantasy that I've heard tremendous things about. I've heard people say it actually can get a little creepy, which is interesting, so I do look forward to that. It is also supposed to be a kind of retelling, or rather inspired by the like 12 Dancing Princesses or something like that. I don't really remember that story. I've heard of it, of course, but I don't really remember how it goes. But yeah, it's supposed to be similar to that, I believe. So yeah, I'm really interested to read this one. The next one I have is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Junanda Petrus. This is a young adult contemporary novel that is also supposed to be LGBTQ+. I believe there's an FF romance in this one, and I think it's supposed to be pretty hard-hitting as well. I think it features cancer and illness and finding love when you're ill and all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested in this. I chose this one as my affiliate book because I haven't heard a lot about this. I actually don't think I've seen anybody read it yet. And I was just interested in reading something that I hadn't heard of about before, and it also sounds good. So yeah, I'm interested to read this one. And then the last one from Book of the Month YA was actually a book that I had already had an ARC of, and then I also already bought a copy of. However, this one, it was a promotional thing where they said, oh, do this post and we'll send you a free copy of the book. So I'm like, I'm not turning down a free copy of a book. So anyway, it is another copy of Frankly in Love by David Yoon, but the Book of the Month YA edition. So that's always fun. I already talked about this, so we don't need to go into it anymore, but it's amazing. So read it. So there you have it, everyone. That is my giant book haul. Now I will be going on a book buying ban because I cannot buy any more books. I just can't do it. I have so many books that I just want to read and want to get to, but I just keep buying books, which makes me want to read those instead, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. I think what I'm going to do is do one of those like read 5 before you buy thing, and the 5 books have to be ones that I've purchased and own like finished copies of and not the ARC copies that I'm reading. So it might be a little while before I have one of these, another one of these giant book hauls. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. Let me know maybe which book I should probably get to first, because I have a lot of choices, a lot of options. Please like this video and subscribe if you aren't already. Do all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Bye!